And we're live. Let me make sure that we're
gonna test.
We're gonna test our sound like
our
always.
Sound. And sorry, we're eating because we just got back from soccer.
Yep, this is gonna be the foodie episode.
Sorry, we're eating because we just got back from soccer.
This is gonna be the foodie episode. Sweet, sweet.
Muck videos or something. Oh, there's your other pen.
Muck dingers, muck flingers. We're gonna fling muck.
Where people just like stuff their faces, and people watching stuff their faces.
So you guys get to watch us eat. Do you want to go over what did we do? What did we go over on the last episode?
Health trends, as we sit here eating Burger King.
Health trends.
Moderation, guys.
A little pop culture. We touched on pop culture, right?
Movies,
With movies and stuff.
Yeah, because we had somebody in the chat.
So if we...
And we talked about movies.
And we're going to be eating through the whole thing.
Yeah, sorry. We're hungry. Parenting life. Our kids are undefeated still.
We just got back from a soccer game. And we won 9-1. Mm-hmm. So still undefeated, 4-0.
Yep.
Go us. You guys are going to hear a lot of silence today because we're going to be eating.
Yeah, because we're hungry. What are we doing today? Well, first, we're together out loud, married for over
Drake
10
Mortar
years.
is a longtime follower, watcher, and rising star in your life. Shout out to Drake Mortar.
Thank you, Drake.
Thank you for liking the live so much, Drake.
He's our #1 fan. So we talk about.
Get closer.
We talk about all kinds of stuff.
We talk about the stuff and the things.
Parenting, marriage, current events. Sometimes we go off on tangents, but overall we want to try to be a positive outlet for people. So if you're here, thanks for joining. And forgive us for eating. But we're hungry.
And an opportunity for people to talk who don't have anybody to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
That's another reason we're here.
Yep.
So if you're watching, if you're listening, thank you for joining us. Today we are going to go over parenting styles going viral. I guess we can start off with that. If you want to start us off, maybe we can start off with gentle parenting, which is pretty viral.
Yeah, we talked about this before where people, I don't know, how do you really define gentle parenting? I guess you try to get the kids to talk about their feelings and you remain calm, which that's the first thing I try to do is be calm, but after you don't listen to me for like the third time, then I start to yell, sorry. But
yeah, then we scream.
Instead of like...
I don't really scream though. You have the wrong burger.
No, this is Bacon King.
This has bacon on it and it's double. They labeled them wrong. They labeled our burgers wrong, sorry.
They want $15 an hour. But
and I don't get any lettuce? Sorry, we're complaining.
There's a little bit of lettuce.
I get a shred of lettuce. I said you said extra tomatoes and extra pickles, so we went light on the lettuce.
We went no lettuce. This looks old.
No, it's one of mine.
Even though, and then it took them forever to get it out to us. First world problems.
Whatever. Don't mind us. Thank you for joining to watch us eat.
I'm trying not to talk with my food with my mouth open. I'm mouth full, I mean.
But yeah, we've spoken about gentle parenting.
It doesn't work.
It
doesn't work.
It doesn't work. Sorry, I was teasing her. I think that I don't know. I think the one that is trendy right now is like this new generation parenting where like, because I see a lot of this on TikTok where we all have kind of gone through a lot of trauma and, excuse me, a lot of hardships maybe. Mm-hmm. And that causes us to be a little more helicopter parent, I would say is what that's what I would identify it as is like new age helicopter parenting. Which I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Again, I always go back to Jordan Peterson, and I definitely do think that there's a benefit to pushing your kids out into the world and trying to get them to face hardship and face face conflicts and face dilemmas, anything that you would normally face to try to help strengthen them. I definitely do think there's a benefit in that, but I also don't think that there's a hindrance in, sorry, I got an eyelash or something. I don't think there's a hindrance in loving them and being a little on the softer side. I have spoken about my upbringing and stuff and about my dad and how the FAGGOT was his favorite word to use, for me at least. And oh, nice.
Oh, cool.
Already flagged for spelling out the word.
Spell it out. And
Already flagged for spelling out the word that my dad used to call me.
Yeah.
So I can't even bully myself, I guess.
Yeah. Wow.
That's cool. TikTok is trash. TikTok is the worst. I don't even know why we do it on here. Oh, it's because we don't have enough followers on other apps in order to do it on a different platform. But so yes, that was excuse me. That was a word that my dad liked to call me a lot. And I think because of that, it has definitely made me a softer parent. But I also think that that's why our children are growing up pretty well. And I think it's because we make the effort to allow them to speak to us. We make an effort to allow them to be part of their discipline, part of their punishments. And I think that helps them to understand more what's happening and why it's happening. And that's about it for me.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Like, there's a balance between, I feel like our generation growing up, it was one of those get over it, or you just had to like kind of fend for yourself, or you couldn't really talk to anybody, or our parents never told us what was going on with their lives. Like, I understand that they're kids and you shouldn't be like dumping everything onto them, but you should at least admit when you're wrong and apologize, and not just say because I said so. Like, we try very hard not to say because I said so when they ask why they're doing something, or what. Excuse me.
Can you ever grab my pills? Can you grab my pills?
Oh yeah, I need
some
too.
Vitamins. But continue. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
And why we are telling them not to do something, or why they're getting punished. And we also
where are you going? Oh, you're grabbing yours too?
Yeah. We also can admit when we are wrong.
And they're never going to learn if you don't explain to them what they've done wrong.
Well, I think part of the reason why I feel like I need to be perfect all the time is because, like, I had this facade that our parents had everything together and they knew what they were doing. And
nice.
And so, like, I thought, well, they got their stuff together, so that's how I need to be.
Sorry, we're taking our vitamins too. Yeah. We always take vitamins. Dead silence.
Sorry, I'm picking up my mess. Yeah, we don't have it together today, but that's okay.
Do you think we should start to recycle toilet paper? You mean like after it's used or before? Because I know some people listen. It's funny that you bring that up, and thank you for bringing that up, Topher. Follow our channel. I like that. I like that conversation. I've had conversations with people about this, and I think that's the weirdest thing ever. Have you ever talked to someone about folding it? I remember I'm with a folder. I remember at an old job, so I ball and then fingers, and I make sure the ball's really big so that it goes around my hand so that fingers don't slip, whatever. And then that's how I use it. But at my old work, there were people who were talking about how like they would make like a square like this with it, and they would use it and then fold it and then use it again. I'm like, ugh, like that's gross. You nasty. You are nasty if you're folding it. My wife is nasty because she folds it. What do you mean? But like, what if it's a fudgy, like a real fudgy one? Unless maybe you don't get those, I do. But what if it's one of those fudgy ones and you wipe and it's covering the whole thing, and then you're like trying to like, let me fold it because you're gonna get fingers. You're gonna get it on your finger.
It's like super fudgy, like.
So it has. Oh, okay. So it depends on how much is on it. I can't believe I've engaged you in a conversation about it. Hey, dude, this is why we're here, because we want to have conversations about whatever anybody wants to talk about. So we appreciate you bringing that up. But it is a good question too. So let me say in the text, do you fold or do you just ball? Or I'm even okay with like folding it up and then wiping. But don't recycle. Don't fold it again. That's weird. That's just weird.
If you can fold it, why not fold it? That's just a waste of plus. I'm bunching up anyway. I feel like I'm not getting clean enough with it.
It is funny. I agree with you, Topher. Topher said sorry, but it's funny, and it is funny.
So maybe that's where Kemper got it from when he said she was trying to fold it the other day.
Yeah, hey, everybody does it. Well, and like our daughter is weird about it too, because she'll get off the toilet and then she'll like wipe and then like look at it and then fold it and then wipe again and like look at it and then throw it in the. I keep yelling at her because she keeps throwing it in the garbage. I'm like, we don't throw toilet paper in the garbage, because I think she gets confused with wipes and toilet paper, because wipes you throw in the garbage. You can't flush those. But toilet paper, you flush it down. You don't throw toilet paper in the trash can. Kids, can't live with them, and you can't teach them how to wipe properly, apparently.
But going back to you helicopter parenting, I think some things you have to kind of helicopter parent, like the internet.
Sorry, I didn't understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Our fridge is spying on us. We have Alexa on our fridge, and it just, I don't know if you heard it.
If you heard it, it's spying on us.
But yeah, I think you have to helicopter parent a little bit when it comes to the internet and what they're seeing. But I think screen time should be limited anyway, in my opinion.
And I heard something great from Abe and Bill, part of a men's group that I used to be part of at the church. And they said, whatever you do to your children, as long as you do it in love, it is a good thing. So no matter what it is, because I remember having this.
No matter what it is?
Yeah, no matter what it is. That's how they feel. And the reason they say this is because like a lot of people go by the whole spare the rod, spoil the child. And I'm like, yeah, but it's hard to find that balance, because I had a conversation with them once about trying to find that balance of like punishing, but not punishing too harshly. And they said, no matter what you do, as long as you're doing it in love, it's not a bad thing. Because I told them, I was like, well, I don't want to over cuddle them and stuff like that. And they're like, don't worry about any of that. Like, because, and this is where I agree with them.
Except when it comes to like a SA. That's what I mean. Not like,
well, yeah, but that you're not really doing that in love. That's weird. That's being weird. I don't think that Bill and Abe meant it like that.
I didn't think they meant it like that either. But that's why I was like, what? Everything?
Yeah, not that stuff.
Because that a person can say that was out of love. Oh, this is.
Yeah, they have said that actually. So it's funny that it's good that you bring that up.
But sorry, go on. There's the lettuce.
That bun is stale.
Oh. This is what happens when you go and get fast food.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't be eating fast food.
Yep. Sorry. Trying to finish my food first.
Which is weird, because we had to sit and wait for this. So we had to wait for old buns and old meat.
Yeah.
Okay.
So to continue, so I agree with them, because like they basically stated it like, when your kids want to get up and get out and get like away, they're going to do that. Mm-hmm. So they're like, so you are not, technically you're not going to be able to what's the word I'm looking for? Overprotect or over nurture, because eventually they're going to get to a point. The problem though is when they do get to that point where they want their space and they want their time, you have to kind of let them go.
Yeah.
Even though I don't think I will. I'll probably just be like, I'm coming in your room to bother you now. Ha ha ha. Because I love my kids that much. But I did appreciate that perspective on it. And yes, I still have this cough.
I don't know what the balance is. When is the right time for them excuse me, to stop doing certain things with us. So I don't.
So yeah, so we touched on that a little bit, but that's one that I see coming up across Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that, is just a lot of people that are weighed down with heavy trauma. Theo Von's one of them, and he constantly talks about the trauma that he had growing up. And it's funny because I have like a similar trauma where I just always feel like what I do is never good enough, and I think that stems from like my childhood and growing up and not feeling like I ever pleased my parents. And I still to this day feels like I still feel like that. The nice thing, the one positive is I'm not as concerned about it anymore, so it doesn't really hurt me as bad. But it is, I mean, it's difficult. Parenting is tough.
Mhm.
I don't think it's as hard as some people make it out to seem, because like some people just make it seem like, oh, I can't believe you have kids in this world.
Mm.
I just read a comment the other day, and it was a woman that said, having 3 kids in this economy is crazy work. And I'm like, yeah, but it's really not.
No, we have money to pay all our bills, to get fast food every once in a while.
To give to others. We even have money left over to give to others.
We give to others. We put 10% back, and that we have at the end of the year we usually give to our family or strangers or something with that money. We started saving for a vacation, a big vacation.
Do I still get my iPad back?
Yeah, just give us a moment after this. Thank you.
And they're in excuse me, they're all 3 in soccer. Our daughter's gonna start dance. So we have money to do all that. I don't think it's anything. I don't think the economy is not great right now. It really isn't. And we are working. Both of us are working full time. But if you are living within your means and if you're sacrificing, that's the problem. Some people adults, they don't want to sacrifice anything for kids. They don't. But and randomly, if they need socks or shoes, Kemper just needed to get new boots because they're sort of literally falling apart because she wears them so much. We have the money to do that. But I think that is one of the big problems, and that's one of the things that like annoys the crap out of me is people complaining. Like I said, trust me, I know. I went and got gas the other day, and I don't get gas very often because I work from home. And I thought it was insane that it was $4.39 a gallon. So I get it. It's insane, but when you guys work together and prioritize your money, you can make it work. But I think, like I said, the huge thing is people are selfish these days and they don't want to sacrifice anything when they think about having a child. And that's what it is. It's a sacrifice. Not in like, when I say sacrifice, it's not like, oh, I have to give up all this stuff for my kid. Like, it shouldn't be a negative thing. It should be like, this is what I want to do. I want to sacrifice. And the things that
and maybe it should be a negative too.
Maybe.
Like, grow up.
Yeah.
Grow up.
Well, and also your priorities change or should change when you have a child. So like, I'm happy that we spend money on them being in soccer or dance class, because I look forward to that on the weekends. So it's one of those things where like your priorities should be changing anyway. So whatever you were spending your money on that you think you're going to miss out on when you have kids, that's going to mean nothing when you have kids. Like, it really isn't going to mean nothing. Our time is more important than money.
Yeah, and we're still able to put back and save.
Uh-huh.
And I know that, like, I don't want to try to, excuse me, I don't want to try to preach to the choir here either. I also understand that there are people who make less money than us. So yeah, I get that. But
And
what I'm
work
saying
less,
is like,
'cause you do have to work a lot of hours. So,
and work less. Yeah, because I mean, I got 72 hours this past week, I think.
Mhm.
So I understand that as well, and I make that sacrifice as well for our family. So, but the thing is even if I wasn't working this many hours, we'd still be able to survive. We would take away from things. We wouldn't be having Burger King.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be splurging. We wouldn't be going on vacation. Like the things that the Lord, excuse me, has blessed us with. We try our best not to take for granted.
Mhm.
We understand that everything that we have is just a blessing from Him.
Mhm.
And we have really no control over that. I mean, we can find new jobs and make more money and do stuff like that, but we've found, I think, together that the more we give away, the more money we've actually been getting back.
Uh-huh.
The Lord has blessed us exponentially over time, and it might also be partially because, like, as time goes, we continue to pay bills more, so we're paying things down, which actually is putting more money in our pocket.
Yeah.
It could be that too, but if I lost my job tomorrow, or she lost her job, vice versa, we'd still be able to survive because we would focus on our necessities.
Yeah.
Because that's what people have to understand is it comes necessity first, and then the things you want after. Excuse me. Oh, my sinuses are bad. But we thank you all for joining. We thank you all for listening. We appreciate everybody who joins and listens. Don't forget to follow us on TikTok here, Together Out Loud, and also on Instagram at Together Out Loud and YouTube at Together Out Loud.
Yeah, and you can email us if you
And Spotify.
and Spotify. You can email us if you
Have any questions?
or want us to touch on something or even comment. Like, even if it's a joke and you're kind of trolling, it's fine. We are laid back and don't take ourselves too seriously for the most part. So if you want to talk about recycling toilet paper, you talk about recycling.
Yeah, I thought that was good.
Can I get something on my face? One of the things I wanted to touch on, I know we're talking about parenting, but I wanted to talk about a trend.
Oh, good job.
Okay. Thank you, Sissy. One of the things that I just saw today on Instagram, I personally love seeing women make their men lunches for work, and they like show what they're making and stuff. I saw one where this woman made like it looked like chicken and spaghetti, and she like packed banana and all kinds of stuff for him. And there was someone in the comment who was like, why are you packing it in a lunchbox? That's like, that gives me man-child vibes. And of course, she's a lesbian. Not to say that lesbians, there's nothing wrong with lesbians, but of course, like, you're man-hating. It goes with the territory, I guess. But I just found it like,
Yeah,
so
paper.
now like a wife can't pack her man's lunch. Oh, and it looked like it was dark out, and he's like a blue collar man, so he works long hours. So that's one of the trends that I see that I like, is watching the videos of when they're making their man their lunch and stuff. But like the comments there's always somebody in the comments that's like bashing them, like that's so terrible. They make it seem like the man is making her do that. It's like, this man is probably working like 16 hours a day, like he does, and this is like her love language, because that's how it is for me. Excuse me, that's my love language. Excuse me, I pack his lunch and have dinner pretty much ready, if not almost ready, by the time he gets home, depending on when he gets home, because he doesn't get home on the same time every day. And so it just like is bizarre to me that people think like that's so wrong to do. What do you expect to provide or to bring to the marriage if your man is like making all the money and working all these long hours? Like, what do you expect? Do you expect to just like not do anything? It's like, that's not how it's supposed to be. You should be giving something back to him too. So that was just something I wanted to touch on, because I just saw it today and how I was like irritated by the negative comments.
I'll touch a little bit on that as well. Sorry. Well,
I know it's hard. I had it.
I'm done now. I'll touch on that a little bit as well. The ones that I don't like because they always they just give me like a deep sadness is when a woman is putting all this work into like making her husband something, and like the comments will be hating on what it is. I hate that too. Like, oh my word,
yeah.
hamburger helper, oh, all that
Yeah.
sodium, wah, 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 complain. And I'm like, how about we just give people some credit for like doing the best that they can
Yeah.
and doing it, period. Like, even the fact that you're making the effort to do that at all, like, I guarantee you that man is grateful that she does that because she doesn't have to do that. That's the thing. We have to be thankful for people doing things that they don't have to do and that they're not forced to do. And don't get me wrong, I can understand like on a health side, like, yeah, the sodium's probably not good.
Yeah.
And some of the processed stuff is probably not good. But that goes back to like what we were just talking about earlier with living within your means. Maybe they just can't afford like the healthy food. Maybe they just can't afford to make like a steak and chop the steak up and be like, here you go, honey. Here's a nice ribeye for your lunch. Excuse me. So we have to give credit and we have to be grateful for the things that we have. Like if we were poor, living on a dirt floor in a hut, I would still be super grateful for anything that she does. Like if she goes out and collects berries and says, here's some berry soup, I'd be like, yeah. Because I mean, you have to be grateful and you have to be thankful for the effort that people put into things.
Yeah, because I think that's better than, and I say this as we just got takeout, but I think it's better than people getting takeout all the time. That first adds up, and it's not very healthy. And that's another thing about living within your means. Like people will DoorDash and stuff like that. They rather do that than actually teach or learn how to cook a decent meal.
You can YouTube anything.
You can YouTube anything. And also,
you want a good recipe, YouTube. I'm
a recipe follower. I mean, sometimes I can just make crap off the top of my head, just put stuff together. If I forget an ingredient, I have to figure out a substitute. But I'm definitely like a recipe follower, so it's easy to follow a recipe. I know it's annoying sometimes to take the time to do it, but it also the result is way better than takeout or not doing it at all. Because one of my things that I really enjoy is when I try out a new recipe and everybody eats it, because you know how kids won't eat things.
Well, because some of your recipes are real.
Yeah, so yeah, I know, and then I can never remember like which ones you were like, this is the best, and
I know she's gonna try. You're gonna try that crunchy chicken thing again, right?
The at some point, yeah, because nice. I didn't.
Because that was one of the greatest back in Townsville when we lived there.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, this is amazing.
And
it was
think
like
I found it.
Cheddar cheese ranch chicken.
Yeah, I think I found it, but I gotta get chicken breast. But we get a half cow every year. See, that's another thing. We spend money. We invest in
that's investing in the future, because then you're paying less in your grocery bills.
Yeah, because my groceries,
and it's way cheaper to buy a cow.
Yeah,
it's like way cheaper, because I mean, like you look at the meat prices today, like at the grocery store, and what are they like per pound? Like,
I don't know.
$5, $6 a pound or something.
Yeah,
something
like
crazy. And I'd say we're averaging probably when we buy it
like
in bulk, $2 or $3 a pound. We're half price.
That's the thing too. Like they don't say like, okay, well, ground beef is going to be this much and steak is going to be this much. Like in the grocery store, steaks are insane. They're like $14, $15.
Yeah, this is all the same. Yes,
that's true. Same per pound. It's like
I was saying burger meat. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. Burger meat's like $5 a pound.
Yeah.
But steak, you're going up. It's like $20 per pound.
And and you don't know what's in that anymore, because Bill Gates is doing mystery meat or lab meat or whatever it is.
Meat.
Or they're injecting them with stuff. So
and they don't have to label it.
They don't have to label it now. And we touched on this last week, which somebody like was trying to, he was respectful, but he had some interesting responses.
And if you want to eat the mystery meat, more power to you. I'm okay with it.
It's free country, whatever.
Yeah, I'm okay if you want to eat it. I'm also not even saying, because I don't know much about it, and I'm not saying it's going to do anything to you either. I don't think they even know if it's going to do anything to you.
That's the problem.
That's the problem, though, is that they don't know. They're just like, I guess we can find out.
Well, yeah, and that's
because I heard they're growing like pigs and stuff, like growing ham and growing beef and growing it out of nothing, like it's a plant.
Well, that's why I don't.
I don't know if
I
they
don't
go.
trust. Like, what is it? Because they can be 3D printing.
There was
stuff.
one person that I saw that like commented on it, and it's not really 3D printing. What you're eating a cancer? Sorry, C word. You're eating a C word, I
Can you say
guess.
cancer?
I don't think you can, but yeah, because it like cancer grows. Sorry, C word grows, and that's what I heard. I heard that it's like meat, but it's a C word. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
know, man.
somebody
I don't want to eat
was
that.
somebody was kind of defending the FDA about how they allow for certain traces, certain amounts of metals and additives
Oh yeah, in the
and
comments.
harmful things, and they don't see the problem with it because they said there's a difference between risk and hazardous. Which, okay, I understand that, but why? There's just like no purpose to it. Like, if it
Why
doesn't,
put it in there at all?
it doesn't serve any health purpose. If it does not serve a health purpose, because yes, there's like risk to supplements, they say, or if you get too much of one thing, of course there's a risk. There's a risk to everything. Like, I get his point in that aspect. However, my thing is like, what's the health benefit to these additives? Zero health benefit. It's more for shelf life and to make money.
Yep. And then I said to her, I threw a conspiracy at her, like, well, maybe also whatever these harmful metals are that they're putting in there, the companies that make these harmful metals are they're paying them. Like, well, we'll pay you.
Well,
Just put our stuff in there.
and also some pharmaceutical companies own also the food industry too. So I think that's conflict. That's a huge conflict of interest. I don't think you should be able to do that, but they do. So of course they can put stuff in your food to harm you or to make you gain weight and be unhealthy, and then you have to be on these
It's
foods
a cycle.
or these what are they, GLP-1s?
Yeah, the GLP ones.
So like, which is so funny. There was a conspiracy that I saw. Here we go. We're going into conspiracies again.
We always get right back to it.
There's conspiracy now. So like back in 2020 when some people didn't get.
When's our restriction going to go away? When I called myself an FAGGOT.
Oh yeah, does it say like
That's
when?
yeah, it said harmful speech, hate speech and hateful behavior.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, it's because my dad called me that, which is funny though, because like that's something that my dad said.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Sorry, we're just checking our restriction because it went away.
Oh, cool.
But
So maybe people will be joining now.
So there's a conspiracy that back in 2020, all the people who didn't get the shot, they are now they think that they're putting those chemicals from the shot into these GLP-1s or these peptides, and then they're like, here, health influencers, promote this. So anybody who didn't get the shot will be like, oh, I'm going to take this. And then that's how they're getting those people to get these chemicals in. So that's a new conspiracy, which I wouldn't put it past them, because like that's another thing too. Like some of these influencers don't even research and check this stuff themselves. They're just like, oh yeah, I want to make money, so of course I'm going to promote this.
How comes it allows you to invite some guests and some guests it doesn't? Some guests will pop up and some it'll say invite. Maybe they have enough followers,
or maybe they like have some kind of setting on their profile where they don't want people to invite them. Okay, that could be. I don't know. They might be private. I have no clue.
Our next topic is marriage debates, but I don't really. There's really nothing that we disagree on. We did have a little bit debate recently because I was just feeling kind of down, and I said like, what if all of it is fake and everything's just made up, and we're just brainwashed to believe all of the fake stuff? And
I got defensive.
And she got defensive. And I'll even explain what I said. I don't care. I was like, what if Satan's the good guy and God's the bad guy? Like, what if Satan is that rebel who like tried to save everyone from the egotistical, overpowerful God? It brings to mind like 300, King Xerxes in that, when he says, I'm a very generous God. All I ask is that you kneel. Because technically, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of what God asks, for you to kneel and worship and so on and so forth. But I mean, obviously I snapped back out of that. I don't believe these things, but there are just questions that I ask sometimes because sometimes that's the way my mind works. But speaking of the Bible, I did want to go over this because nobody ever explained this to me when I was growing up. So whoever's watching, or if you know somebody that can use this, there's almost like a glossary index, whatever. What would that be called in the back of the
Index. An index.
Bible? Yeah, an
That
index.
says the subject, like a subject.
Yeah, yep. And I wish I would have known this. And I was thinking, and the Lord put this on my heart the other day. I don't know why. It just came out of nowhere. I was thinking about it. And I was like, you know what? I should mention that on our podcast, that you can go back and you can think of something that might be bothering you: sorrow, fear,
Anxiety.
hate, anxiety, lying, corn, whatever you may be struggling with. And you can read different verses from the Bible that will help you with whatever you might be struggling with. And I just wanted to put that out there because nobody ever taught me the way to use the Bible when it comes to that. And I think it's a valuable tool to use to help yourself in situations that you don't understand and stuff like that, and help yourself in a way that's biblical and a way that follows God. Because, especially like me, when you're growing up and you're figuring things out on your own and you're trying to kind of put the pieces of the puzzle together yourself without really anybody to kind of teach you or guide you, I think that would have helped me a lot when I was little. I wish that my parents would have really put on to me like, hey, there's this area in the back of the Bible and anything you ever struggle with, whether it be narcotics, you can say that probably, I would assume, not the D word, narcotics or Smex addiction or corn or lust, or, because that's a big one for me, or lying. That's everybody. You can't tell me you've never lied. Come on, people. Jealousy, envy, coveting. You can literally go through and help yourself with any of it. And I like that also there's like stories in there where people did these things. Look at King David. I like to bring him up a lot when people are like, for instance, when people were judging Trump back in the day and they were like, you really think this guy should be president? And they were judging him on what was her name? The sexual assault lady.
I can't remember.
Whatever her name was.
I can only remember Bill Clinton's.
Yeah, I know. I wish I could remember her name.
Daniels.
No, not Stormy Daniels. The other one.
I don't know.
That one was like a payment issue, I think, because he paid her. I don't know, paid her off or whatever. But the other one that said that he assaulted her. And people, I remember debating people, and they were like, "You really think that this guy should be president?" Blah blah blah. And it made me think of King David. And they always got so mad at my comparison because they were like, "Oh, yeah, you comparing to King David?" And I was like, "Listen, King David unalived a man, and I feel like that's probably worse in our eyes, at least, because in God's eyes, all sin is equal. But in our eyes, at least, I feel like that is worse than a sexual assault." Now, you might not say that. Maybe a woman would be like, "No, I don't think so." But I mean, let's be honest. Being alive is a lot better. So I said, I'm not going to judge him because I am not the judge. I am not voting for him on the basis of his character. I'm voting on him on the basis of, do I think he'll make a good president? Which I was wrong because he lied about everything. But that's besides the point. Like in another debate, I said to people that, well, what am I supposed to do? You got to put your trust into someone, even though now I feel like that's wrong too, because I'm not going to put my trust in anybody. I just don't want to vote at all.
That's how I feel.
I would just hang with Jesus and watch it all crumble.
Okay, here it comes. I don't think women should vote. I don't. I'm sorry, I don't. Listen, if I could have,
Actually, I'll debate you on this. Marriage debate. Here's the marriage debate. I'll debate you on this.
You don't think women should? You don't think?
No. I disagree. I disagree on the basis of, so you think women shouldn't vote. I disagree on the basis of, I think anybody should be able to vote, but there should be an IQ test.
Yeah. Okay, I agree with that too. But yeah, I don't understand what happened. Like, I get it. It's hard. You don't want somebody to control you. However, it's a lot easier some days when somebody else is making the decisions. I would much rather like just have somebody else make a decision for me sometimes. So I'm very much one of those people who I really think the man should be the head of the household. And of course, I don't think he should be like a dictator. He should probably like let me be in on the decision making and like and want my opinion and stuff. Um, and I think the woman should be brave enough to be like, you know what, I don't agree with you. I don't think this is the right choice, and be able to explain why this isn't the right choice.
But if he does, sorry, real quick, but I think she should support him if he still goes.
Yes, she should support him, and you shouldn't be like, haha, I told you so, if it's the wrong choice and
If it
things
goes ass
happen.
up.
You be there and be like, okay, this didn't work out. Why didn't it work out? And then what are you gonna do in the future to change it? That's how it should be in with everybody in every kind of relationship that you have. And that's teaching somebody problem solving skills, and also teaching them confidence in their decision making, because there's a lot of times where people are too afraid to make decisions because of being afraid that they're going to mess up, but you don't know if you're going to mess up until you do it. I'd much rather have somebody like take action and then mess up because it may have been the wrong decision than just sit there and not do anything. So I am one of those people that I think and agree that the man should be head of the household. But like, I don't know, we have a very good partnership,
Yes.
and I think that's
I
the
agree.
problem with people giving up on marriages and stuff, or not wanting to get married, is they don't. Some people have control issues. Women, in my opinion, have more control issues. They want to control everything, but then they get upset when a man doesn't make a decision. It's like, what do you want?
What do you want?
Yes, Ryan Gosling, what do you want?
I agree in a sense. Excuse me. I agree in a sense. And I think that I agree with you also that you and I work together well. I think another part of it, though, I'll add to what you said. I think another part of it is some people just don't want a partnership. They want
No.
they want a slave.
Yes.
And I think that's a huge problem in society is they don't. And then also I think we're in a throwaway society where it's like, if it's broken, just get rid of it and find something new. Even though it was a black guy that I saw on here. I can't remember what his name is, but there was a black guy that I saw on Instagram the one time, and I loved what he said. And he was like, the problem with marriage and relationships today is you are hopping from relationship to relationship to relationship, not giving that person the opportunity to fix anything, and you yourself aren't fixing anything.
Yeah.
And going to the next relationship, you're still carrying the same problems.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's actually really good. Like, he's like, so you're just bringing these same problems to every relationship and still expecting it to be different and expecting it to work.
Yeah, I agree. And I think a lot of people don't feel like they have anything to change, and it's always the other person's fault. It's victim
Ego.
Ego, victim mentality. And it's one of those things where no one self-reflects. No one realizes that like there's more perspectives to everything. So if he is like joking around with me, and his perspective is he's joking, but my perspective is I'm getting defensive, and I think
we've been there.
Yeah. And that's why I bring this up, because I can get very defensive. And so
you've gotten a lot better though.
I try. Well, because like you gotta
take the thing that someone says the way they say it.
Yeah.
So if I say to you that I'm joking, I'm genuinely joking. Don't in your mind like make it something else and then get mad at me because you made it something else, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
And that does make sense too. That does make sense too, because like I'm just assuming I am putting weight on whatever it is. I'm not just taking it at face value. And vice versa. Like it's one of those things where I don't know, like that's another thing, like you said, people just like throw things away. It's like you're really first, a marriage is way different than just a relationship, and people don't want to make that commitment. I don't know, what are you doing?
What do you want?
You said when we are done eating our dinner, we get a cookie.
Oh yeah, do we have cookies? I would like a cookie as well. Sorry. Thank you for reminding us, Sissy. I would also like a cookie.
Here, there's three in there, one for you and your brothers.
Okay.
Okay.
Are they all melted? What kind of? Oh, good. They're not. I thought that they'd be like hot
And
cookies
then
or
that's
something.
one. That's your extra one. Are they done?
I think so.
Cookie break.
Cookie break.
But yeah, people will throw stuff away, a marriage away, just making it seem like a relationship when it's a whole different commitment.
I also wanted to go back on voting and talk about critical thinking versus memorization. Because there's a lot of people that I've debated on here that think memorization is where intelligence lies. It's not. It's not where intelligence lies. It's not where wisdom lies. It is wrong. That's the reason why I think that there should be an IQ test for you to vote. I think right now, unfortunately, we are trapped in an area where a huge majority of the left and a huge majority of the right make all elections because they're dumb and they vote along party line, and no matter what you say, their candidate can't be wrong. I said this to my buddy Seth earlier this week. I said, because it made me so mad too, and I was thinking about it, and I was so angry about it, which I don't like getting angry about this stuff either, but they have essentially turned us into sports fans. That's what we are now.
Yeah.
Not me and my wife. The problem is we don't have enough critical thinking people. Another thing, we were in a debate in some of our comments, and this one woman just kept telling me over and over again, like, I don't think you know what critical thinking means and blah, blah, blah. Yes, I'm explaining what critical thinking means right now. Critical thinking is being able to be open-minded enough to think outside of all of the boxes. That's what critical thinking to me means. And you don't use the word in the definition, but you just got to reverse them. Thinking critically, critiquing everything that you see. Don't just take everything and accept it as it is. But the problem is, back to what I said earlier, is they've turned us all into fans. So now everybody is so focused on like, my quarterback's the best. My Trump is better than your Kamala. And then the other side is like, no, my Kamala is better than your Trump. Rah! And now imagine bleachers, imagine a stadium with Trump on one side and Kamala on the other side. Now, here's where the problem lies. Big portion. The little portion of the people who are critical thinkers on the right and the left, the people who actually matter, in my opinion, the marginalized, they don't have a large enough voice in order to make a change. So the big groups are okay with the crappy living situations that we have, and they're okay with the status quo just going along. It kind of goes back to what I've said in a previous episode. As long as it doesn't affect my life, I don't care. That's the problem, is we also need to be thinking about other people's lives as well. And she and I are marginalized because I saw a video earlier this week and said something to her about it. Actually, I think she shared it. And it said how you're not going to convince me that Trump didn't run on these things. And then I had a list of things that he ran on. Because this is the craziest part to me. I understand that you support the conservative Republican Party, MAGA movement. I understand that in the beginning, but now I don't, because now it's like, no. You're trying to gaslight us and say he didn't run on all these things that you also, MAGA, voted for. So it's confusing to me now. And that's when I started to put two and two together and realize, oh, it's because these big portion of people, they don't care.
No.
They genuinely don't care. They're fans. They're sports fans. And what it is now is it's my side won. We're winning the football game. Defense. And then in the midterms, they go, oh, I'm definitely going to get out there and vote because I want my team to keep on winning this football game. And it's like they don't even pay attention to what's happening. And then if you try to have a conversation with them about it, you get blocked like I did the other day. You get called names. You get called a leftist and a liberal and all. I don't care. Doesn't matter. I don't care the names you call me. You can call me whatever you want. But the reason that I'm backing off and just hanging out with Jesus and watching the collapse of it all is because of you. Just remember that. So remember when the midterms come up, if there's suddenly a blue wave, I don't care about that either. If there's suddenly a blue wave, remember that you did that. And the reason you did that is because you shout down, and you shout at and silence the people who try to make sense of it all, and the people who have a different opinion, and two, the people who were originally on your team, you don't care about anything they have to say. Oh, and three, we'll add a third one. You don't care about any of the policies that he ran on, because if you did, you would be like, yeah, these are all lies.
No, this happened, yeah.
It confuses me sometimes. Sometimes I'm so astounded at like, are they all brainwashed? Because 100% he didn't run on any of this stuff.
Well, I also think
That guy mentioned no new wars. That was no new conflicts. No new conflicts. That was the first thing he listed, and I'm like, I don't know. Go ahead. Sorry.
I also think it's funny that like some of them will be like they're doing this on purpose. They want to divide the right. They want to divide us. And it's like maybe we shouldn't be divided. It doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter. That's the problem too. I get that we should be coming together. I think both left and right should be coming together. The little people should be coming together against the elites. That's what I think. And it shouldn't be just like, oh, we got to stick together just because. No, you should be sticking to the side that is righteous.
Mm-hmm.
And this ain't it. This is not it. Neither side is it.
No, they're like, we need to stick together to win. That's what it's all about.
That's what it is. Because they get so enraged, like about midterms and stuff, and want to you better vote. You better vote right in the midterms. Blah 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 blah. Like I'm not going to vote for these people who I don't agree with, who I know are not going to represent me. People forget that too. Like they're supposed to be representatives of us and what we want, and they just do whatever the heck they want.
And I'll add in, because I follow James Owens on Instagram, another thing that I want people to do: stop politicizing Jesus. And I understand, like I used to do that as well. The reason I say this is because that's the thing, is we get villainized because we're turning our back on the conservative movement. Oh, you can't possibly follow Jesus Christ if you're thinking the way you think. Like, no, I'm thinking the way I think because I follow Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I'm not here to win. I'm not here just to win. I'm not here to be like this is the problem is, and the reason I mentioned James Owens is a comment in his videos. He basically stated like he's kind of with the rest of them, where it's like they're dividing us, they're tearing us apart, and this is the problem. We need to remember to put Jesus first. But that there is politicizing Jesus. You're saying like he's part of our movement. Now, I will agree that if you are on the conservative side, I think you are more likely to be a Christian on the conservative side. I think you can, I used to not think this, but I think you can be a conservative side on the liberal side as well, though. I think that there are people who want to stand up for the marginalized and the poor and the needy and the people who need help. And that's a Christian aspect. So there are Christians on both sides of it. So you can't hijack Jesus and say, he's only our political movement.
Right. He loves everybody.
Yes, and that's also why I'm more in the middle, because like there are times I lean a little left, there are times I lean a little right. I will admit I lean more conservative, but I'm not going to entertain the idea of, well, you should vote red just because. No. And I know we went off on a tangent and got political with this.
We did. We do that sometimes, but one of the other marriage debates is I'm seeing, it kind of goes back to wives complaining about their husbands not doing anything around the house. That's another thing that I find weird, because again, in these videos, sometimes I wonder if they like are trolling too, just to get like outrage. They like,
yeah, because sometimes they'll rage bait to do that.
They will rage bait, and it's like women aren't, like I said, they're not contributing anything, and then they get mad when the man comes home from work and just like doesn't want to do anything. That one video when he's out in the garage and she films him being out in the garage, and
she's like pissed off about it.
Yeah, she's upset. It's like, I think he's never anywhere else in the house away from me. So I don't know. I think that's a little debate, is the roles in marriages.
Except I did say earlier that we saw a video where a dude he FaceTimes his wife and he's eating in the car, and I was like, that's what I'm gonna start doing when I'm not at it.
yeah.
I'm gonna go, I'm gonna buy some goodies, and I'm just gonna eat them right in her face, because that's a way we could get revenge.
Yeah, but yeah, we don't really have like debates like within our marriage. We don't really have debates. We agree on a lot of things. I know like sometimes I can be like more hovering over the kids than him. And I think that's just like a women versus man thing anyway, because women are more nurturing,
Yeah.
whereas men toughen up, try to toughen up the kids and
Yeah, because for instance, our runs, like our run this morning,
that's what made me think.
you struggle a little bit with like, but you're always open and like asking me like for advice, like, well, what do I do? And I'm like, just keep running. So when the boys first started, they used to cry the same way Kemper is doing now. And I told her, I was like, no, I would run. I would just go. Like, they'll be all right. They're not going to get hit by cars or anything like that. I would just go. And then on my walk, I'd walk back to them. Because the more attention I give it, the more I pay attention to them while they're crying, the more that they recognize, because kids aren't stupid, the more that they recognize, like, oh, this negative behavior is still causing him to be like, oh, come on, let's go. Let's baby you. Come on, let's go. Yeah, yep. So it's like, oh, I don't have to stop crying because you're still doing this. Whereas I would just run when they were whining or crying. Like, and especially when I got both of them out, because it would always be opposite. Like, Lennox would be whining and crying, or Kiefer would. So I'd be like, come on, Kiefer, leave him alone. And he'd be like, but we can't leave him. I'm like, yeah, we can. Let's go. Come on. And Lennox would be off in the distance. I don't want to do this. And then another day, I'd be like, come on, Lennox, leave him alone. And Kiefer would be off in the distance. And eventually, I got them to understand that, like, when they turned it around, that's when I would come back to them. And I'd be like, man, good job turning it around. You're doing really good running now. And then, because this is always how it worked. The first half, they'd be terrible. And then the second half, we'd all be running together. And so this is advice for anybody if you go running with your kids or do any kind of physical activity with them. And then I would come back, and when they finally turned it around, that's when I would start paying attention, and that's when I would start engaging with them, because then they start to pick up on, okay, when I'm crying, he's going to run off and leave me. But when I turn it around and I'm like, yeah, I got this, I can do this. And that's when he's with me and he's like, hey, man, you're doing a good job. I'm proud of you. Keep up the good work. Keep running. You're doing great, buddy. Because I'm just building that cycle in there. That's a Jordan Peterson thing. Thank you, Jordan Peterson.
And now the boys kick our butts.
Yeah, now they kick our butts every time. They weren't beating me that bad today.
No,
I was like, I'm catching up to you guys.
I think
I'm catch you suckers.
Because you didn't come back for us as often, because I was like, just go, because we are like keeping you guys, we're holding you guys up.
Well, also because I didn't want to end up mowing the lawn after dinner today.
Yeah, you did good. You guys got it.
Yeah, I wanted to get back and be able to get it done
right at the last minute.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good thing too. To that's another thing too. Some people just need to let go of ego, like we said earlier. In a relationship, you need to let go of ego, especially if you guys are parents, because you're not going to do everything perfectly. So yeah, there are situations where he's very bad. He's way better at handling certain situations. And I'm like, I don't know what to do.
And she's better at other situations than
admitting.
Actually, we make a good balance, because there's times when I'm like, I've lost it completely, and you've picked up the slack for me.
I know, and I'm one of those where like somebody else's attitude rubs off a little bit, so I'm working on that and trying to be
empathy.
I'm trying to be more
right. That's when other people's
empathetic. Yeah, your other people's
emotions affect yours.
Yes. So instead of like just being upset that he's like upset or giving up on something, I have to be the sound of reason. But some people don't want to do that. Some people's egos are just like, no, I know everything and I'm great at everything and I'm not going to admit when I'm wrong. But
before we ended, do you want to touch a little bit on your work from home dilemmas?
Yeah, work from home dilemmas. When I first started working from home, I had two of the kids home with me. I'm one of those, I get really bad anxiety because I don't want to get reprimanded by anybody. So I was very nervous starting my one job at home, not the one I have now, the one before it, because I had to do training with two kids at home with me. And I was just like, please let them leave me alone. But I guess work from home dilemmas, one of the kind of dilemmas is that I know I'm very good at time management, but I know how you can easily be distracted by home stuff because you're at home. So if you're looking like I need to clean this, but I gotta work, that's a dilemma. Another dilemma for some people is I don't ever want to leave the house now, and that could be a dilemma. I
Yeah.
mean,
Amanda's running into that too now.
where she just
Yeah, she just doesn't even want to get out.
it's
She doesn't want
like,
to go anywhere.
I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to socialize with people. So I get how that can be a negative thing because we need community. We need to socialize.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, we are social creatures. So again, that's one of the reasons why I am happy and enjoy that the kids are actually in activities. So I can at least be around people and not really have to interact with them, but I'm around them, so that counts. But I never want to go back to working in an office. I enjoy working from home. But I think one of the that's actually a trend that I see really quick. I'll say this real fast. That is a trend that I'm seeing too. Is work from home moms are complaining, and I think it's very ungrateful because I know a lot of moms who have to pay for daycare or they have to figure out childcare when they're going out into the office. And in this economy, unfortunately, the majority of families have two incomes. So it's unfortunate that that's the way it is. But I just find those videos very ungrateful that you like I get it. It's hard when you have two kids at home. All my kids are off at school now, so I don't have to worry about that, but I understand the struggle when they do come home from school. I have like an hour and a half left to work. So I get the struggle, but if you are disciplining your kids and you teach them to respect you while you're working, then it's going to be better. But it's very ungrateful for me
You do a
to
great job, though.
to see a person like complaining about being a mom and working from home. Like what do you want? Nothing's gonna be perfect.
And unfortunately, in this society, in this economy, the government ruined it, guys.
They did, but
They
also
ruined it.
I think it's
Sorry.
a great balance. It's a great balance because I do enjoy working. If I could choose not to work, I would choose not to work. But I do enjoy what I do, and I do enjoy that I have money to contribute to the bills and buying things. But I think
And having your own money too.
and
That's nice.
yes, having my own money because, like, for example, if I wasn't working and it's your birthday, I'm like, oh, can I borrow some money so I can get you a present? Like that would
Which
be
I wouldn't
so.
care.
Yeah, but that'd be so weird to me. So I like having my own money, but I think working from home is a perfect balance because I get to take them to the bus stop. I get to pick them up from the bus stop. I get to be here for any activity. Well, I can just go get them if they're sick, and I can just go get them within like 15 minutes. So I think we found a perfect balance with my working from home because I at least get to have more control in their upbringing than what I would have with daycare. And daycare is insanely expensive and disgusting,
It is.
and they don't pay enough attention to your kids.
Agreed.
Sorry to daycare.
Or they
workers.
threaten that they're going to take your kids home as
Yeah,
a
wow. I
punishment.
wish I knew.
If you keep
that.
acting like this, I'm going to take you home with me.
My real
That's
quick,
weird.
our middle child, he would get sick almost every other day at daycare, and it's because it turned out that it was anxiety, and I think that's what it is. Years later, both of them tell me that there's some substitute at the daycare saying that if they continue to misbehave, she's going to take them home. And I'm like, that is not appropriate to say. That shouldn't be said. And I wish I would have known that when it was happening. But he got really bad anxiety, and we thought it was like maybe he was lactose intolerant because he would get.
But that's what it was. He was afraid
he
they
was
were going to
afraid.
steal
He was getting
him
anxiety
from us.
And that made me that like broke my freaking heart. But I'm so happy.
Which is funny. It is kind of funny though to threaten that. Like, I'm going to take you home with me.
Yeah, it's
oh,
like,
I got to start behaving.
But, yeah, that day he picked him up from daycare, so Kiefer gravitates towards him naturally. So Kiefer's like, Dad was my hero because he picked us up that day and she
That's
didn't
my
take
boy.
us home.
But that's it for
Yep.
this episode. We thank you all for bearing with us as we ate for the first 20 minutes of
Yeah,
it.
sorry.
And yeah, and also see, like, this is one of those days where we had to kind of get on later because our kids had a soccer game. So next Saturday, we should be able to be on right at 12:05, going live 12:05 like we normally do.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll go over what we're going to talk about next week. 2 working parents, what actually works. is going to be the next episode for episode 20.
Episode 20.
Episode 20. I guess we could bring some people up, but we won't. Not this time. We'll just do this. We'll just do 2 working parents. Maybe for episode 21, we'll bring some people up.
Yeah,
Dividing household roles.
which is pretty easy.
Scheduling without resentment, which is very easy as well
Yeah,
because
we do everything together.
our schedules are always the same. It might change a little bit now that, excuse me, Kemper's going to be in some other things.
Yeah,
So, because I don't know
that'll
if
be
I'm
too late. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it home. Make it home. I'm going to write that down. Make it home for Kemper's like dancing and stuff. Just because I already have my work like getting me off early enough for soccer and stuff. And I mean, I would like to, but we'll see. We will see. But I still think I normally make it home at like 5 o'clock anyway. Though,
Yeah.
So I should still be here in order to make it. And then also how you still make family time meaningful. I wrote down already. We'll kind of talk a little bit about runs, shows, and movies.
Yeah.
Because those are things we do together. I think that it is important to have conversations with your kids, though. Maybe we should do that a little more often. But
Yeah.
I like that we always,
do those again.
yeah, I like that we always add stuff to it, though. Like she just recently added the, hey, what are you proud of today? What are you proud of? What are you proud of? To try to get that positive cycle going on in the
Yeah.
brain. But I want to talk about the runs, shows, and movies because these are things that we do together as a family. I
Mhm.
like that every weekend.
Working out.
Yep, working out, exercise. Yep, I'll write that down too. I like that every weekend we do all of our things together. And like today, when we were leaving the soccer game, Lennox goes, "Can you get the one coach's numbers? Because I'd like to hang out with Logan sometime." And like that's cool too.
Yeah.
But the greatest thing about it is we built such a great relationship with our children that I like that they also don't feel down if they aren't going to hang out with other kids. Like they're comfortable with like, of course he wants to go and he wants to spend time with other kids and stuff, but they're also comfortable with like, even if they say no, hanging out with us.
And that's the thing about like I'm sad for people who may not be able to have multiple children, but I think it's important to have multiple children close in age.
Especially in this era, because
yes.
people don't do play dates as much.
They don't.
They really
it's
don't.
really
It's like-
hard. We have flaky parents.
Yeah, we struggle so much with like trying to get people to want to hang out with the kids and our kids to hang out with them and so on and so forth. It's nuts to me. It's nuts to me. I just never met so many parents where it's just like, nope, we're gonna keep them all right here and you go away and go do your own thing.
Yeah, even just like a few years apart, like my sister Brandy, we're 7 years apart. I remember her when her kids were little, she would be able to get people together and have play dates and stuff, and we just
can't do it.
maybe it's us. I don't know.
Maybe it's us.
But
we suck.
I like that they have each other. Like they're in there wrestling around right now. I can hear
Goofing
them.
off, farting
So
around.
They always have each other, and they're
Come
close.
up out of
in
there.
age.
Quit farting around.
So
But thank you all for joining. Thank you for listening.
have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend. Make sure you follow us on Spotify,
Instagram,
Tik-
YouTube,
TikTok, and
TikTok.
YouTube.
and
And remember,
Jesus loves you.
Jesus loves you.
Bye.